B. My mirrors are properly mounted and secured to my brackets. The mirrors are clean and visible, they have no cracks, and there's no missing bolts or nuts. My brackets are properly mounted and secured to my door. No missing bolts or nuts, no cracks or bends, and the brackets are clean. My door is properly mounted and secure, no cracks, no dents, no holes, and the door opens and closes properly. My door brackets are properly mounted and secure to the truck. No cracks, no bends, there's no missing bolts or nuts. My window is properly mounted and secure, clean and visible, with no cracks, and the window opens and closes properly. My door handles are properly mounted and secure on both sides, no cracks, no bends, no missing bolts or nuts. My door seal, properly mounted and secure on both sides, no cracks, no cuts. Any questions? Steps and catwalk are properly mounted and secured to my chassis. No cracks, no bends, no signs of rust. There's no missing bolts or nuts. My steps and catwalk are free of obstructions and they have no oil or grease on them. My diesel tank is properly mounted and secured to my chassis. No cracks or leaks. There's no missing bolts or nuts. Cap is secure, no cracks or leaks. Next to it, we have a depth tank. My depth tank is properly mounted and secured to my chassis. No cracks or leaks. No missing bolts or nuts. The cap is secure, no cracks, no leaks. And I have more than 1/8 of depth fluid. Again, you need to have more than 1/8. Next, we have the depth system. My depth system is properly mounted and secure. It has no cracks, no leaks, and there's no missing bolts, nuts, or missing clamps for the depth system. The muffler is properly mounted and secure from the front of the engine all the way to the back. There's no signs of carbon, no signs of rust, no holes, no missing bolts, nuts, or clamps, and no cracks or leaks on my exhaust. Then we're gonna move to the drive shaft. Again, the drive shaft is properly mounted and secure on both sides. It has no cracks, no bends, and no twists. And the joints are secure, clean and greased on both sides. My chassis is properly mounted and secure. No cracks, bends, no illegal welds, no signs of rust, no missing bolts or nuts. And all my cross members, they are present and they're secure on both sides to the chassis with no cracks, bends, no illegal welds, no signs of rust, and no missing bolts or nuts for the cross members. Again, any questions? Chassis or frame? No illegal welds. Soldadura ilegal. And no rust, no hay oxidado. Yep. No, no bend and no crack no más. Bend en que no está doblado. Bueno, sí, pero tiene que explicarlo. ¿Tú me entiendes? Tú no se puede decir que ese parte no tiene daño, así fácil. Tú tienes que explicar que no tiene cracks, ni está doblado, ni está chocado, o cosas así. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes. No, you need to do it separate. Yeah, you need to do the depth tank and the diesel tank separate. Alright? Yep. Alright, now we're going to do the springs again. Brackets properly mounted and secure on both sides to my chassis. No cracks, bends, no illegal welds, no missing bolts or nuts, no missing or damaged bushing. Leaf springs properly mounted and secure on both sides to the brackets. No cracks or bends, no missing or loose leaf springs. In the middle, the U-bolts properly mounted and secure. No cracks, no missing nuts. bracket. My shock absorber is properly mounted and secure on both sides. No cracks, no leaks, and no missing bolts or nuts. Now we need to explain the airbags because this truck has them. My airbags are properly mounted and secured to the bracket. No cracks, no leaks. My airbag brackets are properly mounted and secured to the chassis. No cracks, bends, no illegal welds, and no missing bolts or nuts. Next, we go to our brakes. First, the brake hose, properly mounted and secure on both sides to the coupling and fitting. No cracks, no leaks. My brake chamber is properly mounted and secure. No cracks, no leaks, and there's no missing bolts, nuts, or missing clamps. Behind the brake chamber, the push rod and the slack adjuster are properly mounted and secure. No cracks, no bends, no missing parts or missing pins. And when the brake is released, my push rod doesn't move more than 1 inch. My brake shoes are properly mounted and secure. No cracks, no bends. The brake shoes are not worn down. I have more than 1/4 inch of pad material, and there's no oil or grease. The brake drum is properly mounted and secure. No cracks, no dents, no holes, no missing bolts or nuts, and no oil or grease on them. Next, we do the tires. Both my tires are properly mounted and secure. No cracks, no cuts, no bubbles. The tires have good air pressure. We can check with a pressure gauge to the valve stem. The tires are evenly worn, and they have more than 232 inch of thread. In the middle of the tires, I have enough space. There are no obstructions, and the rims, they're body to body. My rims, properly mounted and secure. No cracks, bends, no illegal welds, and no rust. The valve stem and cap are properly mounted and secure. No cracks, no leaks. All my lug nuts and bolts are all present and tight. No damage in the holes. No damage on the bolts. And there's no rust around them. Why? Because they are not loose. My axle seal is properly mounted and secure. No cracks, no leaks, and no missing bolts or nuts. Now we have the mud flap, properly mounted and secure to the chassis. No missing bolts or nuts, no cuts, no cracks. The mud flap is not touching the floor or my tire. Remember, some of the trucks gonna have the DOT reflector tape on the mud flap. But in this case, we don't have any, so I don't need to explain it, okay? Exactly. And then we're gonna do the brake lights. My brake lights are properly mounted and secure. No cracks, clean and visible, and in the proper color, which is red in the back. Se puede decirlo, pero después tú tienes